What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 127. Menace and the Man, Stan the Man, Dennis the Menace. Be sure to click that like. Well, hit one of these. Be sure to click that like and subscribe button. Leave some comments
Yeah.
down below.
Where is it? Like by the point, where would it be?
I don't know. Who knows where I could move it around? I think so. Somewhere,
Down there, right?
just
Would be down
down,
there.
just down beneath. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Listen, I got two kids, all right? And listen, they play every sport underneath the earth, and I need the money. I didn't make, Aljamain money.
What'd you say, Aljamain money?
I didn't make Aljamain money or Henry Cejudo money where I could be making moves outside, my blood money of fighting. Oh, dude. So
But
real quick,
wait, that's why we're gonna run these numbers up. Let's go, people.
yeah, do the right thing. Anyways, anywho, I saw Ally Quinta put up that Aljamain wants to work or pick Connor's brain on starting his own rum company.
Aljamain did an interview. I want to say maybe it was the Megan O'Leary interview where he said that, or an interview somewhere where someone asked him about him and
I mean,
Merab.
man, great idea. He's
Anything.
Jamaican. He's got the position right now to sling some rum.
I
He
think I,
drinks.
I think he's been in talks about doing it, and I think he now has been in like doing it. Something's going on with it already, and now he's saying with that he wants to pick Connor's brain so that way
Mm,
it can blow up. I think he's already into it though.
awesome. I'd
But
buy it.
but right on to Aljamain is a good spot to go. UFC 288 just wrapped up this weekend. What did you hear about the performance? Because you fell asleep early, you did not get to watch the fight.
Yeah. I heard it was a little boring. But then all in all, like people want to see people get a slugfest, right? But I also heard like from a very, these are two very highly touted, skilled guys playing chess with each other.
Well, it also depends. I was going to say it depends on who said it was boring because I saw chess, you know, high
Right.
level chess.
Yeah. So and if you know chess is kind of exciting to watch if you know every fucking in and out of it. Um, but I also like watching street fights too, where it's just
Where I'm more of a purist and I do like those type of tactical battles where it's like almost the judging conversation came up in this fight too. But Aljamain did clearly win. But where I like the tactical battles, I feel like you like people slinging leather a little bit more.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I saw the pictures, and Cejudo looked a little more lumped up
Yeah,
uh than Aljamain. And then
Aljamain had nothing.
right, but I also heard that Henry was a little banged up even going to the fight, so just a nick can make an already lump flare up pretty easy.
By banged up, are you talking about the cut?
Cut and like some smaller lumps. Like let's say you punch me in the eye, and then 2 weeks later you punch me half as hard. It's gonna blow up like it did when you punched me in the eye 2 weeks ago.
For sure.
You know.
He
I guess
looked
this is a little bit hearsay and
so for my take, I wrote you like what I like my quick synopsis in a text message of like UFC 288. But Henry was a little slow to start, and that's happened before. He's lost some first rounds, but he's also blown people out in the first round. But just slow start. But that's also Aljamain was like, no, you're not going to be Henry Cejudo. You're going to do my dance today. You know what I mean?
mm.
And
And
then
he's gotten very good at his dance, man.
so Henry took him down first, if I remember correctly. Nice
Okay.
little. So I think he got stuffed on the first takedown. I forget, but then when Henry did take him down, it reminded me of Sermonara, where it was just like it was actually beautiful chain wrestling, where he went for that Cejudo body lock and the inside trip, but the way he got there and then walked Aljamain, like the little setup before the actual trip, just to make sure he got the trip, got it,
Right.
and then Aljamain just grappled his way out, didn't get in too bad of a spot, worked his way back up, and then Aljamain wound up taking him down.
So what were the number of takedowns to takedowns? Like how many did Cejudo have? How many did Aljamain have?
Aljamain had 4, and I think Cejudo had 3.
That's a statement.
Yeah.
There's that, right? And then when Aljamain took him down, took his back, right? He then took that. He stole that round, right?
Yes.
He could take us back the whole time, the whole round.
He took it at the end of the round, but he didn't. He had it for that round,
Right.
And
Which
then
is like,
even
which is one of his things. If he gets your back, he's gonna be there for the rest of them. If he gets it in 4 minutes and 59 seconds, he's gonna be there for the rest of that round.
almost even like you saw, like Aljo's grappling was a lot for Henry to deal with. That it looked like Henry went, that's kind of out the window a little bit. Like I can takedowns for points, but I'm not going to grapple with him. I gotta, there was no grappling from Cejudo.
He
Really.
recognized it.
Like the takedowns were more of like just in situations, not like he was going for the takedown to
Right.
pass his guard and whatnot. But yeah, Aljamain just he didn't shock me, but the thing that I saw in the fight was just knowing how wrestlers think. Like you were D1, you were ranked top 20 in the nation, top 25, whatever it was at one point, like high, and who knows what you would have did your senior year, your final year of wrestling, and then if you could have wrestled internationally, a lot of guys like at that same level that you had, like you were there. That stigma that comes with like a D3 guy, right?
Right. Right.
Aljamain's different, but that stigma, like there were
Yes.
comments on the YouTube saying like no chance. I posted a video of you saying that Aljamain was going to take him down. They were like no fucking chance. Oh, cursed, but no chance.
For every time you curse, you should have to do like push-ups or something.
Yeah, that's a good one. But you know who
Oh,
cursed?
we the only way with the medicine man makes money is we pay each other like $5 in like a little jar.
But then you know who I need you to shoot a shot and get on. I would love to interview because he is one of my heroes. Jon Anik.
Okay.
Curses more than anyone. He'll come on here and he will curse up a storm. Like I don't know how many private conversations you've ever had with him.
He was one of those. Yeah, I've had multiple. Yeah.
I don't know how professional he was in those conversations, but when he gets on podcasts, he seems to let like his mouth just goes and you're like, oh, I didn't know we were
What's
talking
so
like
funny
this.
is he looks so professional when he has the microphone, he's in front of the camera, right? But as soon as he's off camera, it's like he almost took like his hat, he's got like a fitted backwards hat,
Yeah.
like a t-shirt. You're like, you look like I might cross the other side of the street. Like you're like a little like you look a little ghetto a little bit,
Yeah, but big Jon Anik fan. He curses
like
a lot.
fly like Jordan's on. Like I'm like,
But so
God.
we are. That's another thing I thought of Menace and the Men. We are like the ADHD show. We have such a hard time of just staying because it's two
Yeah.
people with ADHD
Yes.
or whatever it would be, ADD. But so Aljo wins. I'm sure you saw that. That was the thing that was all over social media.
Can we talk about Merab
Yes.
stealing the show?
That's what I'm saying. That was what was all over social media. So here, for starters, they're bringing in O'Malley. You didn't really close enough to where like Dennis Bermudez, you would have been sweating. And it was a split decision. I thought Aljo won. I thought it was either 4-1 or 3-2. There were a few very close rounds. Then there was the clear rounds. The clear rounds were more for Aljo, I felt.
Yeah. And then there's also the thing is like, and I've always said it, you have to beat the champ.
Yes.
You can't if it's gotta be if it's a coin toss, it always has to go to the champ.
So the way, remember Mike Brown gave us MMA decisions, and it has all where it's a lot of the media that put their score on Twitter. It'll put them all
Sure, yeah, yeah.
maybe 20-10, 25, 23-7 type deal with the scores in favor of Aljamain. And then there were people that I heard and just saw people scoring. People thought Cejudo won. People were like, at first glance, I thought Cejudo won. I saw Dana White said he thought Aljamain won. Like, so people thought, it was closer than it was. It was definitely a fight where, again, I thought Aljamain clearly won. But 3-2.
We had it 3-2, maybe 4-1, right?
Yeah, but probably 3-2, and And then we need more judges. We need to change that system. But I heard Dana did an interview too recently. He said, we're probably not going to change the rounds anytime soon. We're not going to change, like, it'd be tough to change the rounds, go to like a 15-minute first round or a 10-minute first round or just a flat first round.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's the move. I think.
Yeah, I'm just saying the move is judging. We don't need to change that was a topic recently, but he will entertain, or I think the fighters need to come together if they think there's a problem and try to work with the athletic commissions to.
So I had words with this one guy one time because there's this guy on Instagram and he's got this way of judging where it's a 1-0 minute of each round. So I've seen judges like fucking on their phone. Fights going on, they're on their phone or they're fucking or watching YouTube or some shit. I'm like, yo, the fight's happening right now. How are you not? That's bullshit. Where if they had to judge each minute in each round, a 1 or a 0, you got to be kind of paying attention, right?
Yeah. Well, there was controversy. There was one judge. So remember Cejudo lost to Benavidez, a split decision, and it was controversial a little bit.
Right.
One of the judges that was on that fight that scored it for Benavidez was on this fight and gave the 5th round that Cejudo was one of the rounds that Cejudo probably clearly won, gave it to Aljamain. And if it would have went the other way, I think that would have been his scorecard, meaning that Cejudo would have won. I think there needs to be more judges. That's the first step that could be taken. At minimum, 5 judges.
Well, like I said, there's this, and then with that score, also let a fighter know where he's at in the fight.
The coaches, or you're saying live scoring?
Live scoring. So if you did every minute, so you could look up between the first and second round, like, I lost 3 of those 5 minutes. I lost that round.
I know some shows have tried it. I've never paid close enough attention to the results or how much it changed or heard any fighters speak on, if it was better or not.
Also, that takes away, like, if you fucking punish someone bad for 2 minutes and the 3 minutes I don't know, back up. But you had to do it on Queer Street and almost finished them. You win that round, even though you only dominated 2 of the 3 minutes,
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the ADD kicked in again, and we went to that whole thing. The judges were announcing the decision, or Bruce Buffer's announcing the decision, and he comes with, oh shit, it's going to be split. So I was like, oh wow. Are the judges Henry Cejudo fans? Did they think that he's the greatest combat sports athlete of all time? That's a thing that I'm sure, being in that position, and guys like right there, you got to worry. Like when the judge says, when Bruce Buffer's like split decision, you're probably like, fuck. Like, yeah. Does that judge have a picture from 5 years ago with Henry Cejudo? Or have a picture with my opponent from,
There were, in all honesty, there was only one fight that was a split decision that was like, I don't know. And that was the Mac Rice fight.
Yeah.
Oh, like, and then in second place would be Darren Elkins. And then third place, I guess, would be Holloway. And then those other 2 split decisions, I was just like, oh, I won this.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? When I didn't win, I was like, what?
But so I think Cejudo thinks he did enough to win, but then kept saying, I need to rewatch the fight. Aljo, I think, confident, like, kind of took the 5th round off. Yeah,
because Aljamain is one that, like, you can read his emotions pretty
well. He kind of took the 5th round off and just played the clock out, and then when they said split, you saw him go like, oh no, like, oh, ooh. Then they gave him one scorecard, and then the third scorecard was for him. And Amazing performance. He got the takedowns on Henry. At one point, there was a little funny moment where Henry liked to defend a takedown. Was
He
in a
ducked
full.
him, right?
What happened?
He hit him with a duck under.
Aljo did.
He did a peek
Yeah,
out.
he did the little peek out. Yeah. That's how he got one of his takedowns. But I'm saying Cejudo defending the takedown was in a full blown split. Like,
Right.
Cejudo's little body, his little legs, just completely split it out. And then Aljamain, like, sucked him up and got that takedown. But it was just funny. And then I forget who.
Against the cage.
Oh, maybe Conor. Conor said something about it. That was one of the. We'll get back to Merab. But Conor was like, so Cejudo made a bunch of videos telling Conor what he needs to do to get better and blah blah blah.
Right.
Did you see Conor's videos?
Yeah. Well, no, I didn't see the video. I saw like a tweet.
Oh my god, his video was amazing. He was like, "You were doing this little thing," and then he had a hat on and shit and just talking shit to him. And then he's like, "This guy's a fucking genius, eh?" Like talking about Cejudo. But what was I gonna say about that? I forgot.
Connor's a big Sterling fan. They're like bros, I feel.
Can't stand Cejudo as well. That happened for a lot of people. I saw Adesanya. A lot of people were openly. So I told you, Cejudo said the real fighters are picking me. I saw a lot of fighters openly being like, "Nope, Sterling, fuck Cejudo." So.
Yikes.
But the Conor clapping at Henry was funny. But then Merab.
Oh.
So back to that. They set it up. Dana said he regretted setting it up, but he sets it up. Aljamain is giving his post-fight speech. So the way What's-His-Face walked in, he could have stole the moment, O'Malley. Like, he came up behind Aljo. He could have gotten his face and just blah, blah, blah. He goes to take off his jacket, and then he made the biggest mistake right there. He went, "Hold this," and just handed it off to anyone there willing to take it. It was Merab. So Merab goes, bro.
Oh my god! And then he tweeted like, "You could, you could have gave me a tip."
There's a picture of when he put the jacket on, and he's standing there. He's the shortest one in the photo. He's like looking up at everyone talking, and the cheese grin on Al Iaquinta's face of him watching everything going on. Then Merab goes and jumps on the cage. The athletic commission's hitting him and screaming. He's like not getting down. Then Al Iaquinta goes, "Come on, Al. Come on, Merab. Like, hop down. It's okay. It's me, Al." He hops down. Then O'Malley starts going, "Yo, where's my jacket? Where's my jacket?" And it's totally respectful. You kind of see Merab going, "Oh, no, I got your jacket. I'll give you your jacket." Takes it off, folds it, goes to hand it to him. And then Joe Rogan and Aljamain come over like there's a problem. But there was no problem, you know? And then it turned into like more of a little thing. But then Merab versus Cejudo is now looking like it's going to be the fight.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, what do you think in Cejudo's head? It's like, fuck, let me get Aljo's sidekick, and then after I beat him, call out Aljo again.
So you missed it. Cejudo took his gloves off. I was like, "Oh no, Henry! Like, don't do this." He was going to retire again. I was like, "Man."
Yeah, and then he thought about it in the locker room, I think, right?
He gave a post-fight speech and was like, "I don't know what I'm going to do next." And he gave like the DC answer where it's like, "I only fight for championships,"
Right.
But yes and no. You lost this fight, Henry. So like, and here's the thing with Cejudo, he's there, One win.
With 3 years off.
One win. Oh, there as far as fighting, yes. But one win, and he's fighting for a title,
Sure.
Especially with the timing thing, the way fighting works out. If he stays ready, 3 weeks, 4 weeks notice, something happens, takes a backup spot, like the MMA landscape always changing, someone's hurt, blah, blah, blah.
Neither of them really, I mean, I don't know if like a lot of kicks were checked or how their hands are, but they didn't take visibly a lot of damage.
Aljo did some work.
Okay.
Cejudo landed some shots. I don't know what his number was, but Aljo landed some good leg kicks, landed some good body kicks. Like if any.
So a good solid leg kick. Okay, you're 1 week, but if you check shin to shin, we're talking like a month and a half.
That too. I don't know what it looked like live, but on TV, it looked like Cejudo was landing the harder shots. You know what I mean? Like hard
Again,
kicks.
landing hard shots, fine. It like in meat, if you're hitting meat, it didn't hurt you to throw the kick. It didn't, it sure hurt the guy in the moment and kind of slowing him down. But in terms of recovery, the meat and muscle recovers pretty quickly. But if you hit the bone, that takes time. Like a contusion, that takes time. Where
Like
you're not trying to hop right into another fight, or even a camp.
Aljamain's durable, right? He's been bruised up though before from getting
So
hit.
Aljamain reminds me, like he's a lot like Chris Wade, where they
They don't bruise. They don't get
no, they like wherever like a impact's coming, they're like it like just grazes them, or like they're like
Yeah,
they're
the only time I ever really remember seeing damage on Wade was the Mabilev fight, where Wade got the stitch right here.
right.
Other than that, pretty minimal as far as I remember. And then Aljamain, after the Cejudo fight, just didn't look like he had anything. I just saw an interview today. Cejudo
Also, like I'm not being racist. Like black people don't bruise or like like I rarely, even me, like I wouldn't. The darker you are, the less damage shows up on you.
You said it. I was thinking it. I didn't want to,
No, but I mean, it's kind of. I mean, yeah.
But so Merab versus Cejudo, how do you think that goes? So what? So you didn't see the fight? You'll watch it, I'm sure. Cejudo was back. That's the thing too. The ADD jumping around again. Aljamain's not Cyril Gane. So you know what I mean? Like John Jones had an easier route. Michael Bisping is not Aljamain. I love Bisping. Bisping's top 10, top 5, maybe middleweights of all time. You know what I mean? Is he top 5? Maybe. Maybe he's number 5. You know what I mean? Top 10. You know what I mean?
Because he was ranked like 8th when he fought for the title.
Yeah, and he had the win. He's up there. He's got a lot of wins at middleweight. He had a long career. But Aljamain even the Aljamain right now, if he loses the next 5 fights, it tarnishes him a little bit. But the Aljamain right now is the best bantamweight of all time. Tied with Cruz, if anything, but I think he's up there because of the UFC,
Okay.
I forgot where I was going with that.
No, you were. Well, I think you were talking about. You were asking me how does Cejudo go against Merab?
Yes, but then I saw.
So, like I said, Aljamain is very hard to hit, but so is TJ Dillashaw. But TJ comes forward with some shit. Also, TJ's not as long as Aljamain, but Cejudo slept him. Like, how did Cejudo look really powerful? Like, did any of those power shots hit?
The first round, he started slow and almost had like the
Conor pull out.
Yeah, gonna make sure I don't do too much, don't gas, you know what I mean? And then I would say the kind of the way John Jones did. He probably felt a little off, a little goofy. And even the person I was watching, what I kept saying, he's getting close. Like, I didn't like the way Aljamain was moving, but Cejudo was like swinging haymakers and like just missing. You know what I mean? With Aljamain with his hands down. Like, Aljamain would come in with a combination, and on the exit, Cejudo would swing a haymaker, but he was too short or whatever. Just didn't have the range at that moment. But I was worried about those going forward,
Like, leaving get slapped.
Yeah. Then the second round, he turned it on. I think the second round is the one. So the first round was close, but I think it was Aljo. The second round, I think, was Cejudo. The third round was Aljo, and then the fourth round could have went either way, but was probably Aljo, and then the fifth round could have went either way. Well, the fifth round was Cejudo. Close fight. The rounds were close, but there were a few.
Merab versus Henry. Just style. There is space for Merab just outworks him and just puts on a hard, heavy pace and just outworks Henry, where Henry's fucking hitting him with everything he got. And Merab's like, and just walks through it and just
And that too, at first, the first round, Cejudo looked a little winded, like a couple deep breaths, and I was like, oh no, is he not there? Then he picked it up for the next 20 minutes, you know?
Right.
So
So that's
cardio
all.
was
Like, I don't know if he got rid of his first win. That's like that was always a big thing when I'd be warming up and getting ready for fights. Is like they call it getting rid of your first wind.
yes.
Like, get tired, like get that out. But then in your head, you're like, "What am I getting myself tired for later?" But I'm actually fighting. It's like a weird, because I've done, and you've been there where you're in a fight, and you're like, just when you're fighting, you're under lights, the air's thinner, the oxygen's like a little harder to get in. Just it's just weird. Like your body, it's fight or flight. So your body's feeding so many different things for you to stay alive that oxygen isn't always like a number one priority. So sometimes when you go, oh, like am I tired? Then you start, am I tired? Am I getting tired? Am I gonna run out of gas?
Well, that's a crazy thing. You ever see with beginners, they hold the breath
Yeah,
for a
yes.
lot of things. For like, they'll go for moves and they'll go like, "Ugh," and like kind of
Yeah,
like, it's like, no,
yeah.
that's the last thing you want to do.
Right. Which I think for, both Henry Cejudo and Aljamain Sterling is, wrestling for decades. They know how to grapple and breathe. And I mean, also hitting mitts and sparring, they know how to breathe and punch too. These guys are the complete opposite of amateurs. Um, but stylistically, when you look at it on paper, Merab versus Henry, it's like Henry probably hits harder. He's knocked out more people. He's probably more accurate. Henry on paper is a better striker, or I mean, a better at wrestling.
I think
Like,
he's a better striker too. Marab's a little wild, but Merab makes like such a chaotic fight that it works.
yes, and he doesn't stop either.
Where
That's what
instead
I'm
of
saying.
instead of landing this, Merab pushes you over and then lands a running club in right hand when he's running at you.
Right, him and Frevola have kind of similar styles where they're just like, it's I'm going to be on or around you with these.
Yeah. Frevola is a little more controlled violence, Merab is just this pace, 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 pressure, pressure, pressure. Frevola is like, don't even come near me because,
Stay right this.
yeah. We'll get to that. We'll get to that fight, but Cejudo, Merab, they don't have a timeline. Cejudo took off his gloves, was thinking retirement. I guess he went and talked with the team, Coach Eric, all the people, saw all the fanfare and the rave that Merab was getting for stealing the jacket. Cejudo put out, I'm back, or not back, I'm whatever, I'm good to go. I want Merab as soon as possible. Boston. I think Boston, they're going to Boston in August, I believe. So
Um,
if he
yeah,
beats Merab, does he get Aljo? Or if
I
he
would think so.
But then here's what happens there. If he beats Merab, Aljamain beats O'Malley. Aljamain goes up to
Which I
145.
think I think Aljamain completely obliterates O'Malley.
Yes and no. I mean,
As soon as Aljamain takes down O'Malley, the fight is over.
it's possible.
No, I'm calling it.
That's the scenario, but then there is that other scenario where maybe he gives him a little bit of problems on the feet, makes his range work for him. He's big, he's young, but yes, his hole is definitely the grappling. He surprised me against Jan O'Malley. And even the Pedro Munoz fight, he surprised me in the Pedro Munoz fight. Even though the way the fight ended, I thought Munoz was going to walk him down more. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes, he is a problem with his range.
He's good, O'Malley. People
But
could. He's good.
but the two guys you just named are not monsters on the ground like Aljamain is.
And they're not Aljamain. Aljamain's bigger than both of them. But
I
O'Malley,
also think I also think O'Malley dodged a bullet not having to fight Sandhagen either.
if we're gonna go there, he dodged a few bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he didn't have to go through the murderer's row. Think of Aljamain's journey to a title shot.
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, which makes me go. I mean, yeah, yeah. He is the goat of fucking lost to Marias, but run that back. That's a different story today. Like bad.
Yeah. And so Cejudo, as you say, you know, the most decorated combat sports athlete of all time because of his 2 championships, his Olympic gold medal. It is true, and it can hold true to even Khabib. The longer you keep fighting, it's going to happen. It's hard. It's easier to become champion than
Yes.
to stay on top. Like,
Yes.
even if you're the best, the GOAT, you know, whoever, like John Jones, it could happen. Zig when you should have zagged, and, you know, the sport's messed up like that, that it's, you know, unforgiving to where the favorite's not always the winner. The best can, you know, you see how a lot of the GOATs, if you will, the end of their career is never good.
No.
99 times out of
And
100.
I know, and the reason why is they're just getting paid too much money to, even if they don't feel 100, like, ugh. I mean, even if I lose, I'm gonna go cash $800,000 check
Yeah,
minimum.
at that point. So even that,
Who doesn't? You could ask anybody right now in all of Menace and the Man audience who wouldn't go get their fucking head knocked in for $950,000. I
oh
mean,
my
everybody's
God,
doing it. I'm
Tyrone.
still like, man, 100,000. Maybe I got one more.
I'd fight Tyrone Spong, and right when we touch
Yeah,
gloves, I'd just be like, Tyrone, take it easy on me. Take it easy. Go easy on me, you know? Any
but
fight.
every champion's even at the end goes, I still got this. So not only am I gonna get that money, I'm gonna win too.
Yeah, it's hard to walk away, especially when you're getting paid that much.
Yeah.
But so O'Malley versus Aljamain, you think completely one-sided.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not going to sleep on O'Malley, but Aljamain is the GOAT at this point. So Dominic Cruz has a claim, especially because of the injuries, but the same thing with him that I'll say about Cejudo. It's harder to stay on top than it is to get there. So when he would have been champion, if he wouldn't have been injured, shit would have got rough, possibly.
Yeah, sure. There's a lot of guys since he got injured that are killers,
And
you
even
know.
you see how unforgiving the sport is in his last couple fights. I think he was beating Cheeto and then got hit with the kick, or it was a close competitive fight. And then who was the fight before that? Oh, it was Frank Yeager, I think, versus Cheeto, was winning and then got hit with the kick.
Yep.
But so what was the other ones? Conor on Cejudo. Oh, UFC 288 would be Belal. Belal Muhammad's amazing performance. He completely nullified Gilbert. So what'd you hear about that one?
I was told Gilbert hurt his arm in a takedown attempt and was fighting 4 rounds with one arm.
It was either
And
the takedown
fighting all
attempt,
takedowns,
or the kicks.
looked flat, overtrained, burnt
Burnt,
out.
burnt out. But so he kept switching southpaw, landing a straight left. That landed a few times, Belal. Then he would switch southpaw and start throwing a hard. As soon as he would switch, and Gilbert would like load up his stance, hard left kick would come. So Gilbert was blocking that kick, and just his arm was red, his side was red, both of his arms were red from just constantly, you know? That's what shut him off. It was the shoulder, either from the takedown attempt or that kick. And then Belal just kept going to the well like,
Or he just didn't even move this hand from here. He just kept it up the whole time.
if it was a video game, you'd be like, this fucking guy will not stop throwing this kick. And it wouldn't stop, you know what I mean? Like Gilbert didn't, even the block to that hurts you. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
Just,
Back in the day, I've been on the other side of that with like training with LaFleur. Such a hard kick, and he's southpaw, and just so Bilal kept going southpaw to throw this kick, correct?
yep.
Yeah, just
Yeah, that southpaw kick
in the
that sneaks right
rain.
under. And so Henry in the corner is like to Gilbert, he's switching on you. You could switch too. And Gilbert's like, yeah. And then you saw like one or two moments where Gilbert would switch for a second and then be like, no, I'm not, I'm not, it's already
Yeah.
not going good. I'm not going to start playing this game. So
Um, Gilbert on his best day, is that a different fight?
not that Belal.
Really?
Even with the shoulder injury, like that, like before the shoulder injury. So if he got hurt on that takedown attempt, it was because it was a takedown attempt from very far out that wasn't set up, and he got like pancaked on the takedown attempt because he was getting beat up on the feet a little bit.
Damn.
Yeah.
Is Belal still in Milwaukee?
Yeah. Rufu Sport. Or no, Chicago.
With
Yeah, he's not.
Steve
He's not in
Brooks?
Rufu Sport anymore, or he's probably still trains there. But no, he's in Chicago now. So I saw Belal.
Lamas's guys?
What happened?
With Ricardo Lamas's guys?
No, I'm not sure. I know he trains with his coach that he's had for a minute, the guy Lewis Taylor. We've had on the show before, and I saw him. He trains with Juliana Pena.
Okay.
So whatever that gym that they have in Chicago, and I think he still travels.
Well, I mean, it's working for him then, right?
Bro, he looked the best I've ever seen him look. We have to eat that crow. I'm gonna hit him up and we'll try to get him on, but I'm gonna tell him we have to eat crow. We picked Gilbert. We apologize. You surprised us, Not just I didn't just pick Gilbert because Gilbert's been on the show more. I picked Gilbert because I thought Gilbert was gonna win. The odds makers picked Gilbert. A lot of people picked Gilbert. Belal just fucking surprises everybody and fucking
Damn.
that kick, just winging that kick.
Is Belal, because there's a certain way the UFC likes to be, or just the MMA community likes to be, like, entertained, if you will, right? So people that are annoying are like, all right, this.
Yes, he's missing that entertainment factor.
But I mean, his shows, his podcast is good.
For the fans, I love the chess matches. For the casual fan, his fighting style's missing the entertainment factor.
So it's not what he's saying. You think it's the.
Well, also that his trash talk doesn't have the Colby or Conor effect, Like his fans love his trash talk. Casuals, I don't think, are picking up on it. I think that's
the casuals. They like a nice rehearsed, trash talk.
Perfect example. If his promo after he beat Gilbert, if he beat Gilbert or stopped Gilbert more impressively, and then his promo after he beat Gilbert was better than it was, Dana White would have went to the post-fight press conference and been like, yeah, we're going to have Colby fight the winner of this fight. Belal's that guy right now. 1,000,000%. If it captivated the internet and the internet was blazed about Belal,
right.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's so hard to do.
Whoa. Same thing
as a fighter, all you're thinking is just win.
Same thing as Leon Edwards, though. Belal's in that Leon Edwards thing. He's winning, but he's winning decisions. And, Leon knocked out Usman, but to get to that title fight, nothing but decisions.
Right.
So the casual fan who wants blood and doesn't like the chess match and doesn't care for the grappling, doesn't see the high stakes and goes, why is he throwing one strike at a time? I'd be throwing 3 or 4 combinations,
Right.
Yeah. That's why Colby. So Belal's got to sit out like a year right now. 8 months, 6 months.
Oh, great for Colby.
Colby versus Leon is not happening for a few months. So he's going to have to wait a little bit. But Belal looked good. Hopefully Gilbert's not too banged up. Heals up quick.
Yeah, but Gilbert should go take fucking 7 months off, 8 months off.
It broke my heart a little bit.
Not off. Go heal. Go back to drawing board.
It broke my heart a little bit for Gilbert because I do know he's getting up there in age. This is kind of his last run-ish.
Right. How old is he? 35?
36. He's about to be 37 in July.
Okay, yeah. Damn.
He
made a boatload of money this year.
Oh, yeah. And the fans love him. The UFC loves him because of that. He is always going to be 1 or 2 spectacular fights away from talks, Yeah. But this loss definitely sets him back. But so Belal's going to sit out for that winner. Dana White then went to the post-fight presser and did double down. He said, yes, Belal fighting the winner of Colby Leon. We don't have a date for Colby Leon yet, though, so
Okay.
we'll see what happens there. And then we'll kind of wrap it up here. We got your boy Jourdain, Charles Jourdain, big Menace fan.
I told you, like, off the jump, I was like, man, not in love with this fight for him because Kron Gracie is such a genie on the ground, right? Jourdain just kept it standing the whole time?
Same thing, though. Kron Gracie hasn't fought in 3 years.
Oh, okay.
And came back.
Jump, like, stretched out for takedowns, right?
3 years, and he came back in the same fighting ability that he had when he lost his last fight. He couldn't take, I think it was Cub Swanson who beat him up.
Yep.
Couldn't take Cub down, was shooting down. It was like, yo, this guy has no takedowns. He came into this fight like, yo, you got no takedowns. And then he started guard pulling, and Charles Jourdain's good enough. That was ground and pound, You know from not having that jiu-jitsu background, when you go against a high-level guy, just T-Rex arms, and,
Right.
Charles Jourdain got in his guard, and for the first, 2 minutes, just sat like this. And it was like throwing, short little elbows,
Right.
And
Good for him, man. That's good fight IQ.
100%. Kron got, frustrated, more tired, and then Charles Jourdain just started piecing him up on the feet. Can't take 3 years off, bro, if you're anybody, even Henry Cejudo. John Jones had the perfect opponent. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then, big win for Jourdain, and then Frevola. We'll kind of wrap it up there. Frevola beating Drew Dober. Huge win.
Big.
Huge win.
Drew Dober, he's been around for a while. Didn't he spend some time at 170?
No. But I know Drew Dober, I don't think so. Not
Drew
in the
Dober
UFC.
never fought at 170.
Might have. I'd have to check it. But Drew Dober is I know for a minute he was Gaethje's main training partner, Usman's main training partner, the guy behind the guy type of situation. Oh, how do you get ready for these fights? I train with Drew Dober. And then I think he was the gatekeeper for the top 15. Perennial 13, 14, 15 type of guy, 16. So Frevola beating him is yo. And then Howie beat him. I don't know who else has beaten Dober like that.
No.
Yeah. Bloodied him up, knocked him out.
Because Dober hopped up quick. What the hell?
Mm-mm. Yeah, he hopped up quick-ish, but he was 5 minutes later, Frevola walked up. 30 seconds later, Frevola walked up to shake his hand. He was like, what do you mean, shake my hand? I still want to fight, And Frevola was like, all right, whatever, bro.
Go get your loser check.
Yeah, no, he got walloped with a right hand, and then a couple of good ground and pound. The next couple weren't going to be good,
Yeah, hammer fisting.
It wasn't 100% checkmate. He wasn't flatlined, but got dropped, started coming back, and then Frevola was waking him up with hammer fists and little shit, So it wasn't going to go good.
Oh, those were levels like Donkey Kong.
Oh, no, yeah, no, not little like that. I'm saying not fucking was glancing him, wasn't connecting flush, was about to connect flush,
Yeah.
But so Frevola then called out Paddy Pimblett. So
Love it.
do you sit out, though, if you're Frevola? Because Pimblett just had surgery. I think just move on. Or just go fight somebody else, keep winning, and then every time you win, just keep trolling this guy. Because if you
Now, but Paddy Pimblett's one of those guys where if you lost and you're not headed to a title, well, they've been feeding Paddy fucking here, eat,
So Frevola called out Paddy, and Paddy responded and said, yeah, kind of weird that he's calling me out when I just had surgery. I'm not even training. But, yeah, sure, I'll fight him. And the first thing I thought is kind of weird, when you were in the hospital about to go into surgery and you started calling out Jared Gordon, hey, Jared, I'm not going to be able to fight you for 9 months, but in 10 months, I'm going to kick your ass. That was what he was saying. So what the fuck you doing?
That Frevola right now.
What happened?
Go feed that to Frevola right now.
Yeah, Frevola saw it.
Great rebuttal.
Yeah, I'll send the Frevola that. But I just didn't get it from Pimblett. Pimblett, was like right here on Pimblett. He started gaining me as a fan. Then he lost me a little bit when he was fighting Jared. Then he totally lost me after that, where I'm like, bro, you handled that. Handled that terribly. The hospital call out was terrible. The whole situation, not good.
Delusional.
I'm
the baddest ever. I pummeled him. Like, what?
But so I don't think Frevola should wait for that fight. If he's gonna have to wait till next year, because if you have surgery, UFC. If UFC is protecting Paddy, they're not rushing him back from surgery to fight Frevola. They're getting him back in surgery in 6 to 8 months, and they're going to have him fight Contender Series guy who's 0-2, who, they're going to give his UFC shot.
Yeah.
I think, anyway. But amazing win for Frevola.
I think it's a great call out. It's marketable. But yeah, like you said, I think he goes out there, looks to climb the ladder again, calls him out again.
Amazing call out. It's just the weight. I feel like he's going to lose his steam, waiting for Paddy to come back from an injury. Look at it like you're the A side. You know what I mean? I'm going to go beat somebody else and then be like, Paddy, you scrub, get your shit together. Get your shit together. You can't even make it here. I just beat up another guy waiting for you. See you in March. See you in March.
Right.
You know what I mean? Ooh, and then that was great. Steamroller had the crowd. You saw that clip? That was the loudest thing I heard all night. He was like, "Give me a steamroller," and the whole place went nuts.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right, we'll wrap this up. Canelo also won a fight. I don't know how much you care about that.
What did he fight? I think I saw he was fighting, but I didn't really get much.
He wasn't fighting anyone special. Oh, and then even Gotti versus Mayweather. What are your thoughts on that? We were joking about that. Hopefully, maybe John Gotti. They gave Floyd the bag.
Right.
And Floyd's going to slip on a banana peel for this one.
No way. Him being undefeated and untouchable is worth too much money.
Yeah. Any realm you want to go to that fight?
Where is it?
Florida. June 11th.
What is it? June 11th?
Maybe.
Oh, I have my son's lacrosse tournament upstate.
Okay.
The 10th.
More of these kids' sports. All right, so we'll end it. We'll get more. We'll have more of that John Gotti versus Floyd Mayweather. I definitely am going to try to go and be like, John, I have a favor to ask you. And he's going to be like, what do you need? I'm going to be like, can I go talk to Floyd? Give me the mic. He's going to be like, Floyd, get over here. My son broke this kid's leg. He wants to talk to you. And I'll be like, yes. So that's the game plan. So we'll end it here. You're going to Morgan Wallen.
Yeah.
When are you going?
My lady is a big fan of country music and his music. She plays enough where I'm like, you know what? Not a bad song. I like it.
Don't know him. Didn't know. Like, you guys mentioned him. And that I was like, oh, that's that guy. Yeah, I might go. How do I know him?
She's going to the tickets are like, when she bought them were like $3 and change. She's like, I didn't get you. I'm like, well, 300. Like, don't get me any ticket for that much money. But she's like, when she went back to look, they were like closer to $5. I was like, Char.
Well, so the way we always want to merge into other things, and the way I told you, I'll go to country music festivals and interview people and do that type of shit.
I'm gonna be in the parking lot. I don't know what part.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so in our hiatus, TikTok blew up, became this big thing while we were slowing down with putting out podcasts and whatnot. So we lost a lot of topics. There's a gymnast named Livy who blew up. She goes to LSU. She has she's the high. So you know how they have the NIL deals?
Oh yes, for college kids.
She's the highest earning NIL deal.
Okay.
She's a junior or sophomore gymnast for LSU. Gorgeous. She's a very attractive. I don't even know if I could say gorgeous. She's young. She's 20, but attractive woman. Does flips and stuff. I'm a fan. I follow her on TikTok. I show her to my little cousins. They're like, oh my God, I love this girl. So, she's like, she captivates like the full send crowd, like a young crowd. They get people at her. They go to college gymnastics meets and they get blow up like cardboard cutouts of her. And they like fucking, Livy, we love you. Guys scream from the audience like, Livy, Livy. Then when she looks, they go, how much for your bath water? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like just young kids being kids. But So Livy apparently started me being in my gossip, where my gossip shit comes up. Apparently was hooking up with Morgan Wallen. So Morgan Wallen canceled the show recently, and
Okay.
so he's a big country music star. All the girls, whatever. He's kind of like Taylor Swift. He has like fans like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So they all started going crazy, like, yo, what the? They put a big thing on the screen, like, yo, sorry, Morgan Wallen's sick. He's throwing up. He can't come out. Blah blah blah. So people were like, fuck, this sucks. So girls with cameras go up to the security guards and like, what happened? And the security guards like, Psh, he's not sick. He's hungover. He was out partying all night last night. So apparently he's been partying with this college gymnast, Livy, allegedly. She's single. He's single. She's a big college athlete. He's fucking Morgan Wallen, big country star. Gossip shit.
Wow. What's the age difference though?
Why, he's old? I don't know. I don't even. I don't.
I don't know, but in my head, I would imagine he's in his 30s. No.
Oh my god! Then I'm a fan. I'm a bigger fan. You know, he's doing
Yikes.
good things. But so
Yikes.
that's how I now know of Morgan Wallen, because you guys recently mentioned him, and he's hooking up with a college gymnast named Livy that I'm a fan of.
Wow.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's gonna love this news.
Yeah, tell her. Livy Dunne's the girl's name. So Livy Dunne just became the first college athlete to be a Sports Illustrated swimsuit model.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. Good for
Doing
her.
big things. So I'm a big fan. You check her out, you might become a fan. If you're not allowed, your lady be looking, you fucking just do a quick glance and
It doesn't do anything for me.
what?
I mean, for me to like check out hot chicks online, like it does nothing for me.
I'm not telling you to check out hot chicks. I'm saying
Well, no, but I mean,
you took it as that. I'm telling you to check out the
no,
highest.
I understand what you're saying, but like I have a lot of friends that they follow like these Instagram models. I'm like,
No,
why?
I'm saying for the guys of conversation, so that way you have.
Yes, I know what you're saying.
She's the
But
highest
again,
earning
I'm saying a
NIL
different
athlete.
thing. Yes, I'm saying a different thing where like how many guys that like follow like all these like just girls that show pictures of their ass, like you'll never meet them. It's just like what, like watch Pornhub. What do you like? What? Why would you? I don't know.
I do both.
And they get in trouble because their girlfriend's like, why do you follow her? I'm like, yeah. What do you like?
I do both. What do you mean? I watch Pornhub and I follow those girls. What do you mean? What do you get? What are you getting at?
I don't know. I don't know. I just think it's pointless.
But yeah, that's where I know Morgan Wallen from.
Right.
Big fan. Turned into a big fan. You told me he's 30. He's dating a 20-year-old college chick.
I have no idea how old he is.
Let's go, Morgan Wallen. Big things for Morgan Wallen.
We'll have to look.
But yes, we're going to start rattling off some interviews. Start setting up some guests. When Menace can't make it, I'll just send them in. And yeah, big things coming for Menace and the Man. It's good seeing you again, Menace.
Likewise. Well, see you later.